We are live.
Are we recording on Ecamm?
Yep.
All right. All right, so ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
What up, squad? Welcome back to the Pain is Privilege podcast. I am your boy Bricks, and to my side, I got my man who's not in the best mood right now, but it's all good. We're gonna get through this episode, man. Life's kicking his ass, but you know what? We would be hypocrites for us not to push through this. My man Kabuki B in the building. What up, my boy? How you feeling?
happening?
I know I just said how you're feeling, but that's talk to me.
I'm not adversity. I'm no stranger to adversity. I'm used to going through shit. It's just one of those weeks. But
So we're not gonna get so we're not gonna get any jokes.
Oh no, I still joke. I still joke. Believe that.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the life lessons learned from fitness. Now, fitness has been my mentor, has been my saving grace, to be honest, man. A lot of the principles about manhood, about life in general, was delivered to me through fitness. And I honestly don't know what I would be without it, right? Without the things that I've learned and who I've become from the lessons that I've learned, from fitness. So I think a lot of people, man, when they think about exercise and nutrition, the first thing and the most important thing for most people is aesthetics. And it's just so much deeper than aesthetics, man. And I think when you can understand the value beyond the aesthetics, that will really encourage people to prioritize it more, right? Because I think aesthetic goals, it's never enough, bro. It's never enough. Like doing it just for aesthetics is just never enough, right? And I think a lot of people don't understand how deep the benefits really go, right? How transformative on a non-physical level it can be when you commit yourself to taking care of yourself on an elite level, right? So talk to me a little bit about your experience with the lessons learned from fitness.
So, it's so funny how things come full circle, right? All right, I started my fitness journey based off of aesthetics. You know what I mean? Like, I always wanted to be a bodybuilder when I was a kid, seen the magazines, see the bodybuilding movies and stuff like that. I was like, I want to be that big dude. And I was always in shape, always active playing basketball, to I didn't know what was the secret to getting big, right? It was until I finished high school that I learned that, most of it is really in a diet. You know what I mean? And I ended up blowing up. I guess it was those newbie gains combined with like a diet. But I was just really caught up in the aesthetics. And to make a long story short, it honestly wasn't until I came across your channel that I learned, not to be so headstrong about the aesthetics. That it's more about your health. I sent a super chat to you talking about I got too much effort in me, and how do I get past that effort? Because I will put in the time to start working out, but then life happens, and then I can't put in the time that I really wanted to get the aesthetics. And you told me, it's all about your why. Your why. Like, why are you doing it? If you are just basing it on aesthetics, then you're really not doing it for the right reasons. You should be doing it for health.
So at the very least, I want people to leave here with some understanding and really some material to formulate or to reformulate their why, right? Because if their goal is to be consistent, if their goal is to make this a part of their lifestyle, a part of them, their identity, then I think understanding that, okay, yes, because I don't want to villainize aesthetic goals. It's okay to want to look good. I want to look good. Don't get it twisted. But you also got to search internally for a deeper reason, because that's the only thing that's going to push you to be consistent, right? So hopefully you guys leave this episode with just some material to kind of, all right, let's see how I can find something that's a little bit more substantial for a reason why I am, exercising and eating healthy, right? So it's just not just about aesthetics. So for those of you who are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or SoundCloud, we are also live on YouTube. So if we stop and we're talking about super chats, it's because someone in the chat has a question. So we're gonna make the most of it. But just giving you guys a heads up, so you guys know what's up. Shout out to everybody on YouTube right now. We really, really appreciate the super chats. We're going to get to as many of those questions as possible. And afterwards, after we wrap up the podcast, I will stick around for everyone still on live and answer some questions. So that's what's up. Darnisha, that's what attracted me to the 75 Hard program. I don't know much about that, but I'd love to. I keep hearing about it. I'll do some research. All right, so for me, right, and I guess I can outline the main lessons, the core lessons that fitness have taught me, right? It's, for one, all right, so I'm going to give you guys the overview of each lesson, and then we'll go a little bit deeper. And I'm pretty sure most of this stuff Kabuki can relate to. So for one, it taught me the power of discipline, right? First and foremost, it is the thing that instilled discipline in me. I wasn't a disciplined person before I started, on this journey towards this better version of myself. And so it taught me discipline. It taught me patience. It taught me the value of patience. It taught me the value of perseverance. It taught me self-awareness, right? And again, guys, I'm outlining all of this stuff right now. I'm going to go into each category a little bit deeper and kind of explain and give you the deeper meanings behind, these lessons, right? The deeper gems, the takeaways from each one of these lessons. It also taught me the value of teamwork, right? It taught me self-acceptance. It taught me the connection between my mind, my body, and my spirit, right? It taught me resilience. It taught me gratitude. So those are a few of the main core lessons that fitness taught me. And I'm pretty sure you can relate to a lot of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I learned that, that saying Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, that's goes to not just aesthetic wise for me, which was my initial goal, but it goes to just everything in life, that anything of quality takes time to be built, and it built more of my mental capacity to be able to make a vision, make a goal, and put the hard work to it and not stop, So patience, I can totally relate to the patience aspect of it, to the discipline aspect of it. Growing up, I didn't really have too much discipline, like from a real father figure, you know what I'm saying? So me seeing what it takes to be in control of like dieting, not picking out, making better decisions, putting yourself in a better space so that way you don't mess up, I learned a lot about discipline on my fitness journey. It just opened up so many doors for me, and I'm grateful for the ups and downs of that fitness journey,
Yeah.
Honestly. But, yeah.
This serious version of you, bro. we gotta lighten you up, bro. I wish I was there to tickle you or something. No homo. Pause. Nah, but for real, no. Discipline for sure was probably the main tenet, right? Was the main lesson that fitness taught me. And for me, to me, discipline is the key to freedom. Discipline.
Can I cut you off for a second? Do you got a fresh cut right now?
I do, bro.
When did you get it?
Yesterday.
Man, that's some bull. Yes. So listen, today I was out there. I don't mean to go off on a quick tangent, but today I went to my barber. I'm at the barber shop, and I'm like, "Hey, where you at?" He texts me talking about my car is stuck and I can't make it at the time of my appointment. So I was supposed to have a fresh cut today. So now I'm looking at you with a fresh lineup, and I'm kind of.
And my barber is the go-to. But anyway, but yeah. So you got a little haircut envy right now.
Yeah. For
Well,
sure.
you need to get over it. Let's continue. All right, so no, but as far as discipline, right? So, um, I was always a person who, if it challenged me, I it wasn't something that I was interested in because I was naturally gifted in a lot of things in my life. Right, school always came easy to me. You know, talking to girls, like I've always been socially advanced, so that was always easy to me. I never really had anything to challenge me until I went on this weight loss journey,
Mhm.
and it cracked me wide open, bro. It cracked me wide open. But what I was saying before you cut me off about your goddamn haircut, I was saying that discipline is the key to freedom. Don't start your shit, bro.
Hey.
No, I was saying discipline is the key to freedom, right?
Mhm.
I think really being able to, I don't like to use the word control here, like to control your behaviors, but to be in to know yourself enough or know how to get the right behaviors from yourself in order to achieve a goal is important, and not everyone has that ability to do. I made a post on Instagram yesterday, I think, where I talked about the reason why I was fat is because I was so addicted to comfort,
Mm.
right? and
Mhm.
and being disciplined is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's completely uncomfortable. Like right now, and I'm so intentional about exercising my discipline because drifting is a real thing, right? Getting comfortable, because here's the thing about discipline. Once you use discipline to form habits, right? Like it doesn't require discipline anymore for me to go to the gym,
Yeah.
right? Which means I've plateaued where I'm not really exercising that discipline muscle anymore.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think discipline, like any other muscle, mental muscle, physical muscle, it can atrophy,
Mhm.
right? So right now, like I'm in a 30-day discipline, I call it a discipline party or a dopamine detox, where for 30 days, no sex, no alcohol, no desserts, no movies, no rap music. Like I'm going super hard at taking away the things from me that I
Mhm.
really, really love, that I really, really enjoy, right? Just as an internal, as a intentional exercise to work my discipline. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a 600-pound discipline deadlift, bro. You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think there's so much mental and spiritual benefits to intentionally putting yourself in situations where you have to exercise your discipline. And not only do you get these mental benefits, I think your confidence grows. A
Mhm.
big part of the reason why I am extremely confident is because I know I'm a disciplined ass dude. There's
Yeah.
no situation that I don't feel that if I'm, there's no situation that life can present to me that I don't feel like I can crush,
Right.
because I know mentally, I know my capabilities mentally. You
Mhm.
feel what I'm saying? So these tenets, right? I started from scratch, bro. I had no discipline. I started from scratch, bro. I was really the guy who cut corners at work.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? I never put forth any more effort. The only amount of effort I put at work was to keep my job.
Yeah.
Anything beyond keeping my job, it was a no-go. I did not exercise, bro. I was the guy, if the store was a block away, I would get in my car.
Mm.
I would drive to the store if it was a block away.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I was the guy after work. I come home, bro. I would sit on the couch before I even take my coat off.
Oh,
I didn't even feel like taking my coat off, bro.
damn.
Like I was that lazy dude. So when I tell you
Mm.
I started from zero with this discipline thing, and I intentionally worked my way up, bro. I
Mhm.
intentionally worked my way up. So anybody listening right now who feels like, yo, I'm just not that disciplined dude, or I don't have the willpower. Listen, first of all, stop telling yourself that. First and foremost,
Facts.
cut that shit out, right? Secondly, I'm telling you, and I know a lot of thought leaders and influencers, they say stuff like this, but truly, listen, look me in my eyes. If you're watching right now, look me in the eyes. If me, one of the laziest dudes who ever ever lived, to be honest. At one point, that was true about myself. If I can do this, trust me, you can do this. You can do this. But it just takes the right reasons why. So yes, exercise, nutrition, this entire journey of self-development, you know, was definitely the catalyst for me developing my discipline, for sure. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. We doing it live.
No doubt. You know, and then, you know, persevering, I mean, patience, right? And let's talk about patience, because I think patience is a discipline in itself, bro. You know?
I agree.
Patience is a discipline. Patience is another thing I think that is vital for creating freedom in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is vital. I feel like success is a big waiting game. It's an aggressive game of patience, right? It's a marathon, if you will, right? And what you got to be patient if you are running a marathon, because that thing is long and it's intense.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you know, it might sound, a lot of this stuff could sound, you know, I don't know. Could you say it sound easier than said? Easier said than done. It's like,
I mean, I think for the person listening who is sitting in, you know, a pessimistic headspace, who is sitting on the heels of countless repeated failures, you know. So I think most people, yes, they'll say that, right? It's easier said than done. And you're right. Anything is easier said than done. That's the reason why it's called discipline. That's why you need discipline, because it's hard.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's easier said than done. But I'm not special. You know what I'm saying? Kabuki, you're not special, bro. We're not special. We don't have access to any source of energy or anything else that anyone watching or listening has access to. We all have access to these parts of ourselves. We just got to want it bad enough.
Facts. I agree. And
it just takes deep desire, bro. A burning deep desire.
And don't stop, because it might not be happening as fast as you want it to happen. You know, setting a goal because spring is around the corner and you going to a wedding, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's, I don't want to say you setting yourself up for failure, you know, but you are not placing yourself in the best position to stay disciplined and stay consistent with it. You know what I mean?
Now let me be clear though. Like, there are there are going to be instances where you want to put your foot on the gas, right? And I understand that, right? But that can't be the predominant, you know, approach. That can't be the only, like, yeah, sometimes I turn it up, but that's not, you know, that's not the mode that I operate in all the time. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want to villainize that. But you're right though, man. You got to be doing it for the right. You have to be doing it for the right reasons. And you have to understand. So here's the thing, man, like, process. Understanding process. And this can apply to any pursuit. I don't care what goal you're pursuing, right? It could be you're trying to build a business, you want to build a successful relationship, you want to transform your body. You have to understand the core tenets, the principles of process, because all of the principles apply to all, right? All the principles apply. You get out what you put in. Anything worthwhile takes time, so you're going to have to be patient. There's going to be a lot of moments where you're doing things that you don't feel like doing, right? Where you have to access your discipline in order to execute. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, bro. Like, that's the reason why there's a small percentage of people who are successfully doing whatever, right? Have the body of their dreams, made $1 million, have the best relationships, is because people are so afraid, or people are so averse, I should say, to anything that makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You got to embrace it. And this is why, this is the main idea behind, you know, a big part of the main idea behind this podcast. You feel what I'm saying? Because discipline is not comfortable. That shit is not easy. it is not easy to be disciplined. It is not. It doesn't feel good.
But so worth it.
It's worth it, bro.
So worth it.
It
Worth it
it,
is
it
a
frees you.
understatement.
It frees you, and I think, and that's why when we rebrand the pain of discipline, right? We rebrand it. That helps you when you understand it. See, here's the thing, bro. A lot of these concepts, before I internalize them, because all it is a perspective shift.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just got to have a reason to sit in the shit, right? It's okay. Listen, if I'm sitting in fire, right, and I know this fire is going to ultimately make me better in some way, right? I was going to find a cool way to say that, but let's just be direct, right?
Yeah.
If I know that sitting in this fire is going to help me become the version I want of myself that I want to be, right? I will sit in there. But if I think I'm sitting in this and it's just because all I'm experiencing is pain and I'm not going to get anything out of it, I'm not going to want to sit in it, right? So, and I know that sounds oversimplified, but I'm really trying to articulate how important it is for us to start to reframe discomfort, reframe the pain of discipline, the pain of doing things that you need to do, right? Yeah. Because if we can understand it, bro, it'll give us more incentive to really to really sit in that pain, right? And to really go through it and grow through it.
Totally agree. And one thing I do want to say to the audience, because I do see some questions popping up, if you don't mind, if you could put a Q before your question and then put the question, that'd be great. So that way I'll be able to keep track of the questions. That's
a good idea, bro. And we will get back to the questions in the chat. I appreciate everybody in the chat right now. Much love. All right. So yeah. So the next concept, right, was perseverance, and that goes hand in hand with patience. But I think it can be, you can discern patience from perseverance, right? Because perseverance, right, fitness and weight loss, like weight loss in particular, is so mentally and physically demanding, right? It's so... It can really drain the life out of you, right? Between the willpower, between, exercising before your body is used to, the activity, between, having to, cut out parts of your social life, having to, stay away from certain foods. It's hard, right? And to go back to your reason why, if you don't have the right reason why, you're not gonna have enough fuel to persevere, right? Yeah. But it taught me perseverance, and I swear, man, every principle that I've learned from fitness, I have applied to success in other areas of my life.
Built like the foundation.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Because they all translate, bro. They all translate. And that further gives me the incentive to prioritize my fitness, right? Because it's like, it's not just something that I feel like it's going to make me look good. Like, nah, it's continuing to sharpen my identity, to sharpen me as a man, as a human. You feel me? As a leader, as a father. Like me going to it's crazy because I want people to recognize that, like, you dedicating yourself and taking care of yourself on an elite level, right, is going to make you better at work. Oh, yeah. It's going to make you a better husband. It's going to make you a better father, a better friend, right? Because you're going to, it's so hard to articulate, man, but it's going to transform you from the inside out.
Oh, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
And speaking on a perseverance point, one thing that I learned from perseverance is that no matter what happens, like when I was going through it with my health, how I lost the 75 pounds of muscle, I was always in the hospital. I had 3 surgeries on my gut. The first question I will always ask my surgeons, and when I go to the hospital, is when can I get back working out? Even when I had a bag on my stomach, I was waiting to get back in the gym because I really, at that point, I just needed my physical activity, to keep me sane almost, because I had my mind while I was in the hospital. I learned a lot of things, read a lot of books, but fitness has always been a part of my life, always.
mm,
And
mm,
no matter how many times, because I gained my muscle back and I lost it so many times. I can count on two hands how many times I regained my fitness, my muscle mass, and everything, and how many times I lost it. I just kept
mm,
going back because it has not only made me look better, but it has made me feel better. Even in sales, when I'm on my fitness, I am more confident to be able to close a deal. I'm able
mhm,
to articulate myself a lot better versus if I'm not in a gym. Let's say I'm still looking good, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just not in the gym. My confidence level is a lot lower. You know, I can still look good, but I'm not feeling the confidence as I would if I was still in there getting it in. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
it just speaks to the part where you talk about it translates to other things, other aspects of your life.
Yeah. And I think another huge lesson that I learned, man, and it's so funny because I don't think people would connect gratitude to fitness, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really, after really like finding myself in the fire in the trenches of this weight loss journey, right? It gave me a different appreciation for my body, right? For my body. Let's start there, right? It gave me a different level of appreciation. I learned to really appreciate and value my body, because it was something that I took for granted before.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I had experiences of the doctor looking me in the eyes and telling me, yo, bro, you're going to die if
Mm-hmm.
you do not change the way you live.
Yeah.
Right. And even then, right, it took a while. I've had doctors tell me that several times before the switch happened for me,
Mm.
but going through the process of like finding myself and building myself and reforming my identity and changing my relationship with food and developing the habit of exercising, regularly, it really just gave me a different appreciation for my body. And then it just also gave me a different appreciation for life,
Yeah.
right?
That's
It
huge.
just it not no bullshit because it improved my quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and I don't want to mull over that. I don't want to just kind of brush over that, right? Exercise and nutrition has improved my quality of life, bro. I
Speak to
live
that.
a better quality life. My experiences, my days, my thoughts, my relationships, my outlook on life is totally different
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm fit. It's
Okay.
totally different. The way I metabolize life is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mentally stronger. You
Mm-hmm.
feel what I'm saying? So it's not just a physical, yes, I'm physically stronger, but I'm mentally and emotionally stronger because of what I learned about myself during the process of transforming my body.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying?
So, can you identify when you started really keeping to your discipline while you were along your weight loss journey? Like, or did this? I can't say that all this just happened once you hit your goal. Like, what was that mind state like for you to that quality of life like when you were on that journey
Mhm.
consistently? You know.
So there was a level of obsession from day one of this leg of my transformation, right? So from 2013, because mind you, I struggled with my weight for 10 years before it clicked,
Yeah.
right? So on that last attempt, that last push, I was obsessed. And it wasn't a healthy obsession. Let me be
Mm.
very clear. It wasn't a healthy obsession. It was toxic,
Yeah.
right? So initially I had the wrong fuel
Mm.
driving me, right? It was revenge energy. It was, you know, ego. It was all of these things that wasn't sustainable fuel, right? But it resulted in consistency for me,
Yeah.
right? It resulted in consistency, but eventually my fuel had to change, right? I
Mm.
had to I had to change to a more sustainable fuel. But to answer your question, it it the quality of life thing didn't really set in until my fuel changed,
Okay.
right? It wasn't until I was really doing it for the right reason. So, because here's the thing, back to your why, you can do what appears to be healthy behaviors, right? But if your mind, if the reasons why you're doing it is not something that nourishes your soul or nourishes your mind, then ultimately, especially if you're pushing super duper hard, ultimately that thing that you're doing to make yourself physically better can ultimately not be so good for you, right? Anything that's like super duper, and this is probably gonna ruffle some feathers, bro. Look at bodybuilding. The sport of bodybuilding. Now, listen, I don't judge anybody, but to me, bodybuilding is a completely egoic sport. Now, I know there's definitely other aspects to it, right? I know people experience whatever it is that they get out of it, but in general, I would say it's an egoic sport. Look at the health of bodybuilders as they get older.
Yeah. Hell, look at the past year. How many bodybuilders has passed
How many
away?
bodybuilders passing? Yeah, they're dying, bro. They're dying in their 50s. You feel what I'm saying? It's because it's over. It's aggressive. It's not healthy. It's the reason behind it isn't holistic health. It's, oh, hey, look at me.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you know that so for me, it wasn't until the energy and the fuel switch from wanting to look good and wanting to get females, right, to, oh, I want to be healthy. I want to seek vitality. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I want to be around for my children. I want to be 80 years old and still be able to be mobile.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, when I'm traveling in my 70s and 80s, I still want to still experience life.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, think about when you don't have health, when you don't have mobility, you don't have nothing, bro.
Yep.
You have nothing.
You got to rely on family members or caretakers to take care of you, you know?
Take me out.
Yeah.
If that is the case, I don't want to be here, bro. I do not want to be living if I cannot be living.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Life is not to be lived in a bed in pain, bro. I'm sorry. That's me. That's my philosophy. Not everyone would agree, but that is not how you live, right? So anyway, so the reasons why and it shifted to being something that, you know, that nourished me when my fuel shifted, for sure.
Okay.
You know,
I think that's powerful to know. It can give people who are in the middle of that journey or at the beginning of it to see what is at the end of the tunnel, per se, you know. But then again, it's an ongoing tunnel, you know. It's just you come to pit stops on the way to the end of the tunnel, you know, to where you can refuel, change the fuel like you did, you know, see what you can become. So I think that's huge.
No, for sure. Now, the aspect of teamwork. Now, this is when I want to give Cammie her flowers, right? So I had struggled, man, that last 50 pounds of my weight loss journey, bro. I think that's the last leg of the race is always the hardest, right? It's always the hardest. And I had tried to do it by myself. You know, I had, in the beginning of my journey, I had a coach for maybe a month, right? But I've really learned that you don't have to do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. And so many of us try to do it by ourselves. And I know a lot of people don't have, you know, the support at home. I get that, you know, especially in the Black community, bro. You know, we deal with a lot of that. Oh, what you going to the little gym, man? You on your little diet? You know, Black folks start talking shit.
Yeah.
When they see someone trying to better themselves, and I love my people, man, but that's something that angers me about us, man. How we do that.
or try to
you know, to
derail
each
you
other.
from your diet. Be like, oh, you can eat this today. You know, it's just for today.
And you know all that is, bro? It's insecurity, bro.
Mm-hmm.
People are insecure, and when they're not ready to take that, you know, to take that step for themselves, they see you doing it, and it makes them feel insecure. It makes them feel convicted, almost like, oh, well, you know, so and so thinks they're better than me because they, you know, they eat salads and I eat ramen noodles. I mean, I don't know ramen noodles, but you know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean. I get what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, the teamwork aspect is important, man, and that's why. This is why it's important. This is why the intention around this podcast is community, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I want us to build a community because a lot of us don't have the support at home. We don't have the resources, you know, to feel supported.
Yeah.
Right. So guys, listen, join the Facebook group. We have a lot of great things in store. I actually want to, once we get some more people in there, I want to start planning a Zoom call, right? Where I don't know the frequency yet. I don't want to put it out there. The frequency, I'm not sure. But I definitely want to get us on a call. I want to meet you guys. I want to talk to you. I want us to figure out how we can make this community supportive for everyone involved. So the link is going to be in the show notes.
Link in now.
Okay. Yeah. Facebook.com/groups/pain is privilege. Make sure you guys tap in with us, you know. But anyway, community is super duper important, man. So if you can get a coach, if you can get a workout partner, you know, if you can just get an accountability buddy, whatever that looks like for you, teamwork is super important. And it just taught me, because I've always been toxically independent, man, if that makes sense, bro. Like, I never wanted help from anyone because for me, it was always like, you know, it felt like I would owe them something. But as humans, bro, we are designed for community. We are designed to do things in packs. We are pack animals. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you get that little, you know, jolt of joy when you give a homeless person some money, right? You feel that sense of pride. You feel that sense of like accomplishment. That's because we're hardwired to help each other.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I definitely learned the importance of teamwork and collaborating through fitness, because it was really the first thing that I allowed myself to be vulnerable enough to accept help with.
And can I speak to the community aspect of things too?
For sure.
So when you first mentioned teamwork and everything, I couldn't relate to that part. So I didn't think I was going to have much to add to it. But when you start talking about community, that's where it really rang a connection with me. You know, because it doesn't just help you get through a journey, but it can help you mentally to know that you have people that are there that are supporting you. You are supporting them. You know what I'm saying? You can have these people to talk to, and that's huge. That can be the ultimate push to keep you consistent in this journey. You know, it's an amazing thing. Community is the only thing I had at the darkest hour of my health experience. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have anyone, but I did have a community, and that helped me get through a lot. That helped me keep my fire lit. You know what I'm saying? It helped me keep that drive going. You know what I'm saying? That perseverance. So yeah, guys, definitely tap into the Facebook group. I put the link in the chat. It would be amazing to build this great community of people. You know,
for sure,
it's huge.
For sure. Hey, I want to shout out Philip Carroll for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. He says, love the content and consistency. Much love, man. I love that. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, bro, and I think this is it's a huge one. Pause. But all seriousness, self-awareness, bro. I started a series on YouTube where I was trying to really break down self-awareness, you know, the nuts and bolts of self-awareness. It's such an important concept. It's such an important vantage for each of us to have on ourselves, right? You have to know yourself in order to achieve anything in life. You
Yeah.
have to know yourself on a deep level. And the reason why I think a lot of people don't have self-awareness is because it's uncomfortable. It
Mm.
is painful, right?
Yeah.
There are things that I've learned about myself that were not fun to accept. They
Like what?
sting. You feel what I'm saying? They sting. It's something that it's not your ego. My ego does not like, some of the things that I've learned about myself through my self-awareness journey. You feel what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Mm.
And I think it takes a certain level of confidence to be brave enough to acknowledge a lot of the not so good parts about yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, obviously we can all appreciate the good parts. I mean, I'm not going to say obviously because some people struggle with that. Some people struggle seeing the good things about themselves, and all they see is the bad things. For
Mm.
me, it's the opposite. I can see all the good things. I mean, I see all of it now, right? But in the beginning, it was just like, yo, my ego was out of control.
Yeah.
Um, but self-awareness, like fitness requires you paying attention to your body, right? And learning what it needs to perform, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so just that process of having to pay attention to your body, like it's almost like a meditation, if you will, right? It was like a 18-month long meditation of me having to like really focus in um on myself, do these experiments with myself. It just brought it almost like gave me a different insight on things that were just totally subconscious to me before, right?
Mhm.
I didn't, like, for instance, I didn't know how shitty I felt eating so much fast food
Mm.
until I stopped eating fast food. But that's just one example of like things that are happening in your body that you're totally oblivious to.
Yeah.
And going through this process of learning my body and paying attention to myself has taught me self-awareness, right? It was kind of like the gateway to self-awareness because I also had to start paying attention to my thoughts,
Mhm.
right? I had to start paying attention to my thoughts because my behavior, right? And this is I forget which book I get it from, but it talks about how the acronym is TFAR, right?
Mhm.
Your thoughts, right? Your thoughts create your feelings, right? Your feelings inspire your actions, and your actions is what yields your results,
Mm.
right? So obviously action and result are the part that most of us think about when we're talking about weight loss. When we're talking about fitness, we think action and result, but you got to think there's some steps before that, right?
Yeah.
And it starts in your mind. It starts with what you think, right?
Mhm.
So I had to learn, right? When I was trying to, I'm going to use the word manipulate, right? When I was trying to manipulate my behavior, I was trying to change my behavior. Whenever I would find myself not behaving or doing the action that gets me where I want to go, I had to like look under the hood,
Mm.
right? I had to look under the hood, like what thought or belief or attitude is causing me to do this action, the action that is not taking me where I want to go, right?
Mm.
So I just say that to say, you know, this journey forced me to pay attention to things that I never really paid attention to,
Yeah.
right? Which helped me develop self-awareness, right? Because in order to change your behaviors, you got to see, like my man, I always use this quote from Jay-Z, you can't heal what you never reveal. Like you can't address an issue that you don't know the root of,
That's a fact.
right? You can't address it. You can't try to change, you can't lose weight if you don't understand why you overeat.
Mhm.
You feel me? You can't try to transform your body if you don't understand why you are not motivated or why you cannot be consistent with your exercise. Like you have to ask yourself these questions. Like what are the triggers? What are the things that get you in motion, right? That get you to do the action? And what are the thoughts or the situations or the scenarios or the people that that don't inspire you to do the action that you need to do in order to reach your goal, right? You have to start looking at this stuff. And that is a journey of self-awareness. That is a journey of awareness in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aware of what's going on in your environment, right? Aware of the impact of the people in your life. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have awareness. And none of this stuff, this concept was introduced to me, after, fitness, for sure.
And those little steps count too. I know it might seem like veering off the beating path for just one little second, it'd be all good and cool. Those little steps really lead to big changes. So just hold the line, just keep pushing through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to lose track. It's so easy to fall out of line. I know that for a fact because I could be super strict in my diet, for example, but then I'm out of town and I'm like, oh, okay. And I mean, I can go eat some fast food real quick. You know what I mean? It won't be nothing. Then next thing you know, the next day I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Snowball.
Yeah. So, just try, like how you said about the people that you keep around you, pay so close attention to that because those influences could definitely mess you up, and you got to be self-aware to not be so easy to be taken off your path. And that's where the discipline aspect come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They all feed each other, man. Like resiliency and discipline and self-awareness and all of these, these concepts that I spoke about, they are all on the team, right? Right. Those like your starting five or your whatever, right? The 8 players on your team, they all collaborate to get you where you want to go, right? Yeah. So these are all important things for everyone to learn. But it starts with understanding this. It starts with even connecting some of these things to fitness. A lot of people probably, by default wouldn't connect, perseverance and teamwork and self-awareness and patience to their fitness journey. But when you have this understanding, and that's my hope for everyone listening to this right now, is like, okay, it's going to give you a different perspective on this journey. It gives you more incentive. It gives you, I feel like if you have more reasons, if you feel like you're going to get more benefits than you even think, that'll help you, it'll help motivate you for sure. Hopefully.
It's a formula pretty much, and you're naming, like, I can make a comparison to marketing. There's typically key components to an effective marketing campaign or video. You got to hook your audience. You got to call out their pain points. You got to call out a solution to that pain and tell them what will happen if you don't resolve that pain, and then you offer, the call to action so that way you can solve that problem. And when you understand, like, the key components that you just laid out, it can make the process so much easier, because a lot of us don't know what that missing key is, like, why am I keep failing, but that self-awareness is a mug right there. I'll tell you that.
Yes, sir. Hey, guys, leave us a review. I don't know if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud. Leave us a review. Hit us up on social media. If you're listening right now, I want you to screenshot the podcast and post it on your story, and I will personally shoot you a message to thank you, right? We are in the beginning stages of getting this thing, going. So I want to thank you guys for the support, man. At this point, we dropped the first episode, and it was, the feedback was outstanding. So thank you guys. Thank you to every single person who listened to the podcast. We really, really appreciate you guys. Also, tap in with us in the Facebook group, right? Facebook.com/groups/pain is privilege. I want to build with you guys.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Michael Matroke the fourth for the $1 super stickers. He sent 2 of them. So shout out to you. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, guys. So until next week, we gotta get like a little, like a sign off line or something. I don't know.
We can get that figured out. But I got that outro though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Hit the outro.
Hey.